Wrestling on weed.
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 Wrestling on weed. Subscribe today. Otherwise, we're gonna have a problem.
It's time for the Blunt Ratings. If this is your first time tuning in, this is how the Blunt Ratings work. We take each show and break them down into 5 categories: matches, promos and backstage segments, storytelling, commentary, and the crowd. For each category, each show can get up to 5 blunts. The average score of those 5 categories stands as the official Blunt Rating. Those are the rules. Now let's get right into tonight's edition of the Blunt Ratings.
We want the smoke.
Song tour.
We want the smoke. We want the smoke.
What up, world? It is Bray, Try and Find Out, aka Big Daddy Feasel, aka
Attention, Wild Nation!
It was me, Laylo. It was me all along.
Let's go. Hey, man.
Physics is back, y'all.
Hey, look. I'm excited right now. You see who it is. It's the homie PHZSICKS Physics in the building.
What time it is?
Yes, sir, man. And we in the building, man. We about to do these Monday Night Raw Blunt Ratings. It's good to be back with your homie. Oh, let me get back to the main scene. There we go. Boom.
Yes, sir,
It's
yes,
good
sir.
to be back with you, man. Good to see you. Let me go ahead and
See
turn
you
the
well.
music off. What's going on, Wild Nation? KGM already in the building. Yeah, man, the homie Physics is back. We getting the whole gang back together soon, man. It's going to be lit in a minute. I guess it's getting cold, so everybody in the house, everybody getting situated. We get back to it, man. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I love it, man. We had a good few months, yeah, I mean, in the last few months on the channel, so we're going to try to keep the momentum going. I got a couple other ideas for the channel that we're going to be working on soon, you know what I mean, now that cats are back, so I'm excited. Fizz, catch us up
Yes,
on how
sir.
you doing, man. How you feeling?
Man, I've been good, working on music, moved to the new place. This is the new spot. I'm not in the old spot anymore. So, I had to get everything situated, had to get the correct setup so I could come back right. And,
You got a new mic over
be there
there?
for a good time. Yeah,
That
got the
sound
shirt.
good over there. Yeah. Okay. That just sounded kind of nice. I'm liking that. That's what's up. My man got the good setup. Let's go.
Yeah, man,
So,
a lot of things upgraded over here.
yeah, that's what's up, man. You got the lights and all that good shit. That's what I'm talking about, man. Let's get it, man.
Sure.
We ready to get this shit popping. So we go talk about Monday Night Raw. Let you guys know what we think about everything that happened. We're heading to Extreme Rules. Physics is a pay-per-view on Saturday.
Yes, sir.
Very wise for them to do this on Saturday. Don't compete with the NFL. Not a wise decision, especially this early in the season. Looks like a loaded card. What are you thinking about the card so far?
I like the card so far. I like that, we actually have Extreme Rules things. We got the fight pit. We have a ladder match. What else matches we got? We got a bunch of stipulation matches, which, is we have an I Quit match going on.
Got a strap
like-
match.
Yeah, we have a strap match. So we have a lot going on, and I like that. It's Extreme Rules. This is exactly what it should be. Which, this is what it is under Triple H's, under his hand. This is what we're going to get. Like, I'm already looking forward to TLC because we're actually going to get a tables match and then a ladder match and then a chair match and then a whole TLC match, and you just bring them all together. So
What do you mean?
they're doing everything
Things make
correct. I'm
sense?
already ready for War Games, so
Are you saying things make sense all of a sudden? Like things
Yeah,
are actually
things
how
make
they're supposed to
sense.
be? Oh, okay, yeah, that's what's up.
And I mean, what's it called? Made sense last night. I know it wasn't the best. Last night was very underwhelming, but it was like, you know what? I mean, a lot of NXT's takeovers going into their NXT takeover was not that great, but you knew once NXT takeover came on, it was going to be money.
Facts.
Like you can only do so much when you're building a card. And that's kind of how it goes for a lot of shows. Even AEW goes through yeah, we're just going to kind of BS because the pay-per-views this week, and that's where all the money is.
Yeah, and we've gotten I feel like it's been a few weeks now. Like, Triple H started off hot. He hit the ground running, killing it. Monday Night Raw was just like, it's crazy. All the surprise returns, blah blah blah. But I think it kind of tapered off. But in the last few weeks. But I think that obviously
we're going to
something has
have
been
some
saving.
surprise turns this weekend and Monday.
Yeah. And I think one big angle's been saving the show.
Yeah, Monday, I'm going to say Sasha Banks and Naomi are popping back up. That's the day. So, there we go.
All right, that's news to me. That would be crazy. That's a wild prediction. I'm like out of sight, out of mind with those two. Like at this point, like it feels like Sasha's doing a whole bunch of stuff. You know what I mean? She got going on. She changed her Twitter. I thought that was suspicious. Like she trying to throw us off the scent. I thought that, but I was like, nah, she look happy. She doing Hollywood and music. And
think about this. Do you know where next Monday is going to be at? Right?
Is it in Boston?
I know it's Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. That's right. Yeah.
Naomi and Sasha Banks have been in New York for about a few months. Why are they in New York for so long?
Oh, really?
I'm just saying.
I mean, anything's possible. I'm not gonna complain, and I feel like the women's division needs it. Somebody got to spice up the women's division right now. I think Bianca Belair held it down as long as she could. I don't think, Control, we'll talk about them in a minute. You can give me your opinion on them and what they're doing. You want to start off the review? Since it's been so long.
Yeah, the show started off with Judgment Day. We had Damian Priest and Finn Balor coming out talking about, their beef with Rey Mysterio and Edge and the Prince. Finn Balor said he promised to make him say, "I quit." It went for a long time. We had the crowd chanting, "Who's your daddy?" towards Dominic. And of course, he says, Dominic has crazy heat. Like,
it's working.
It is working. Judgment Day altogether has crazy heat.
He got that Sammy Guevara heat. Like, damn, we want to fuck your girl. Like, leave us alone. Stop making out in front of us. We want her.
This is, you heard the rumors. Finn Balor is, they're already going to start putting a rocket back on Finn Balor. And the fact that, he has one of the most detestable heel groups is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting because it was like, well, we know who's going to be in War Games. It's going to be the Bloodline. Who's going against Bloodline? I have no idea. Because we have so many ways we can go, and I guarantee you it's not going to be Judgment Day, so I have no idea what the hell they're going to be doing for Judgment Day. For Survivor Series. But we got Rey Mysterio and AJ Styles versus Judgment Day. Pretty decent match. We had, I would say one of the worst things about this match was when Rhea Ripley finally was about to clothesline Rey Mysterio.
Right.
I feel like Kevin Dunn is trying to, because he's not fired yet. He's still trying to sabotage some things because the camera cut right when she was about to clothesline him.
Yeah, it was like a weird
Which
jump
was
cut.
weird. Like you knew he was. We saw her duck down. We saw her powering up. We saw him turn around, and then it was like cut to the crowd.
You heard him hit the ground, though. Yeah, you heard him hit the ground. Yeah.
And then they had the show, and it was like that was such a weird cut. Like, why would that happen anyways? But
maybe he's trying to sabotage his own job.
I feel like that's the case. Of course, Ref gets distracted, and Balor finishes off Styles with a coup de grace for the win. Decent way to open up the show. I am not mad at the match. I would say Ray's baseball slide into a head scissor takedown on the outside was really good. Like the fact this man is, however old he is, and still pulling off these moves, it's just beautiful.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on. Just legends still showing that they could go with the young guys. Rey Mysterio is definitely, one of them. I don't think he's ever going to.
What was your views on this match?
I thought the match was good, man. I thought, obviously with the shenanigans with Dominic Mysterio, hit me, dad, hit me. Like, okay, he's not going to hit you. I think that's the last time we need to do that angle because I think that's 2 or 3 weeks in a row. So maybe switch it up. Rhea Ripley getting involved. I mean, they're heels. I'm cool with it. Like, I like the Judgment Day. I just think they need a new feud besides Rey Mysterio and Edge. You know what I mean? So I think they need to hurry up and get through this Extreme Rules shit so they can move on to do something else. So we don't just, they don't just kind of get boring from fighting the same people.
I have a feeling that when I don't know when is DX supposed to do their is that supposed to be this Friday?
Did you say DX?
Yeah, when they're supposed to get together and do their was it 30th or 25 years? I can't remember.
I haven't heard anything about that.
Yeah, because they've been having to ask Tony Khan if Billy Gunn can come to the event because of course he's still AEW at the moment.
You can't be talking shit when you gonna need a nigga, man. You guys, why motherfuckers?
Okay, it's
nice.
Raw, so that's October 10th. That's going to be on Raw. That's next Monday.
Okay.
I'm going to say they're going to start sowing the seeds of Finn Balor leaving. And I think this is where the whole AJ Styles thing. I feel like they're going to come out when DX is out, and of course, I feel like Triple H and Shawn Michaels are going to talk to Finn and talk about, you had a certain group of guys that kind of remind us that this ain't it right here. And we all know the Good Brothers, the WWE has sent fillers out to them. And I know for a fact they wanted to do the whole Bullet Club thing, and it was always a start and stop gap.
Come on, bro.
And we all know when it comes to Finn Balor, you cannot trust that man. That man is nothing but always, forever turning on groups. That's kind of how he works.
That's a good point.
And I feel like the fact that AJ's there, and it's one of those things where it's like it's how Finn was. It's like, is Finn going to join Judgment Day? And then he did. But now it's going to be like, is AJ Styles going to? No, AJ Styles is going to bring other people, which is going to make Finn be like, this is where family is. And Judgment Day is going to be left alone, and Judgment Day is going to dissipate because it's only going to be.
Okay.
I mean, and I'm okay. I'm okay with it being Rhea Ripley, Damian Priest, and Dominic Mysterio. I feel like
they're gonna have to add somebody else that could talk. I feel like they're gonna have to add some. Finn does most of the talking because he's the best talker in the group, even though he fumbled a little bit last night. This week.
Last night.
Last night. I mean, last week.
I'm so mad.
That shit was funny. So you think that even with the post-match angle, because, AJ Styles, like, because he's hinted at maybe turning heel when he shoved Rey Mysterio down, and then, Judgment Day, I thought they would be laughing like, "Ha, you with us?" But they just jumped in and started beating them down. That's why I'm like,
I think WWE knows they need either a face stable or a anti-hero stable where, they can go in between. And that would be it. And
that would
you
be
need
the
them
click,
to go
though.
against
That would be
Judgment Day.
Okay, yeah.
And you need them to go against a bloodline. Because then it makes it easier if it was a bloodline versus technically Bullet Club. Like, it makes it very easy to do if that's going to be the case.
That would be epic, bro. It's like I mean, yeah. I mean, I would like for that to be the case. It just seems like such a long shot, like to get the Good Brothers and I mean, when is Survivor Series? November?
November.
So I guess they got a few weeks, but they ain't got a whole lot of time. So I mean, I hope they could pull something like that off. I don't know, but we'll see. After the Judgment Day match, we had the United States champion Bobby Lashley was walking into the arena, and Kevin Patrick stopped him. This was a film segment from earlier in the day. And he's just like, yo, nobody, stepping up or whatever. I'm just waiting on somebody to step up and, challenge me and, give me some competition. And that's when Mustafa Ali rolled up. You know what I mean? And I like this segment. I was like, okay, Mustafa, it was, he was a little aggressive, you know what I mean, towards somebody twice his size, you know what I mean? It's dangerous, you know what I mean? As he found out later. But he walked up, he's like, yo, I'm looking for opportunity. I'm trying to take advantage of this opportunity. You know what I mean? Bobby Lashley was like, all right, that's what's up. I'll holler at you later, little man. You know what I mean? Get off me. You know what I mean? And that's what Mustafa start poking him in the chest like, nah, I'm not asking, I'm demanding an opportunity. And so Bobby Lashley is like, y'all getting a little too comfortable disrespecting me around. gonna have to show you what it is a little later. So, all right, you got your opportunity. So yeah, we got Bobby Lashley and Ali a little later in the show. Then another backstage segment is the honorary Oos, Sami Zayn backstage. He was cackling the fuck away with,
He was telling an
Jimmy
amazing
Uso.
joke.
I mean, I didn't even hear the whole joke, but it was funny as shit apparently.
Fire extinguisher dog. Something going
Right,
on.
even Solo was laughing. Like the shit had to be funny because serious ass Solo was even giggling and shit. So that's when Jay walked in. He fucking party pooping ass Jay. What y'all laughing at? What's so fucking funny? I was
You want
like,
to hear my
"Nah."
prediction? You want to hear a prediction?
What? Give me
A
a
long
give it
game
to me.
prediction of what I feel like is going to happen?
Give it to me. We've been trying to
I
figure it
feel-
out.
So you remember the segment? Well, it was the segment that kind of made Sami Zayn with the bloodline. Is when he's in a room and he's like, I get into people's heads and I just crawl in there and they don't even know that I'm in there and I just be doing things. And next thing you know, I'm at the top.
I do remember that segment.
I feel like that's technically what's going to happen. He's going to turn on them, and it's going to be bad for it's going to be bad for Roman.
Oh, I mean, but okay. So if he
And when
turns
he
on-
does,
he's still
it's
a
going to be to
babyface.
the benefit of him. How it's going to benefit him, I don't know. We don't know yet. I know everybody's thinking about Cody Rhodes winning Royal Rumble. Sami Zayn is my dark horse for the Royal Rumble.
That would be
And what's going to happen is it's going to make Jay be like, I told y'all not to trust him. The whole time y'all were looking at me silly. The whole time I kept telling y'all not to trust him. And now he's turned on us and has ruined everything.
I feel like that's the
And
best way
maybe-
to pay it off too.
Or this is another thing because of the whole elders thing, because they know that how Roman is disrespecting them, they go to Sammy to be the one, and it's Sammy and Solo ruining everything because the elders told them to, because there is somebody above the tribal chief, and it's the elders. So we'll see. We will see. But I feel like Sami Zayn, I feel like what's going to happen after the whole bloodline run is going to be pretty great for Sami Zayn. And he earned it and deserved it. But speaking about that, then of course, Jay comes in and, he's pissed and everybody needs to take it serious. But can we talk about the U.S. Championship real quick? It is beautiful what they're doing with the U.S. Championship. Like it is the storylines and the fact that they made Mustafa Ali look serious and great, and the fact he wasn't going to give up, and then when he smacked Bobby and Bobby lost it, he still was like, nah, like you're gonna have to like kill me before you're not pinning me. That's not happening. You're gonna have to take me out another way. And it made Mustafa Ali look strong. And the fact that, of course, out of nowhere, your boy, Seth freaking Rollins, attacks Bobby Lashley, gets his curb stomp because he couldn't get it last time.
I think this is more
But then
important
he-
for the U.S. title.
Yeah.
Seth
but
Rollins
then-
being involved.
Yeah, but then he curb stomps Mustafa Ali. And I was like, thank you. Because Ali versus Seth Rollins.
That's what I'm saying.
It's money.
That's what I'm
It's
saying.
money.
That's what I'm saying. Like I think Seth coming out and being involved in the U.S. title picture, like he's the number 2 in the company, in my opinion. So it's like,
Yeah.
him being involved because Roman got both of the belts tied up. So you put the number 2 guy in. If the U.S. title is the second, the next belt in line, then so that to me makes the U.S. title and everybody else that's involved, like the mid-card people that are involved, feel more important because now they get to wrestle Seth Rollins, and Bobby Lashley, of course, has done a great job with the title since he's had it. So, I thought this match was good, man. Like, he was fighting from the bottom the whole time. Bobby Lashley got pissed when he slapped him, ran his head into the ring post twice. You know what I mean? Just beat the shit out
That
of him.
clothesline on the outside was crazy.
Yeah, that shit was vicious. You know what I mean? So, he tossed him around, beat the shit out of him. Ali, he didn't really get too much offense, but he just,
But his best offense was the
kick
the
out.
flip onto the arm.
Yeah, in fact, yeah, that shit was nasty because I actually, for a split second, I thought he fucked up and hurt Bobby Lashley. I was like, wait a minute, was it supposed? He looks, and then he got up and he like shook it off in like 3 seconds. I was like, damn it, Bobby, sell it more.
Yeah, but then they had him
more.
selling it in the back. He had the ice pack
Yeah,
on
yeah.
later on in the night, and it would not surprise me if this is going to be a lingering injury.
You can blame it on
And-
adrenaline.
And
during
Seth
the-
Rollins is going to be able to use it against him and take that belt off of him. And then we have Seth Rollins versus Ali later on.
I like that. I definitely think they need to get that belt on Seth. I think Bobby Lashley should, maybe. Well, there's so many people in line for Roman's belts. I don't know if Bobby even. I want him to be in the picture. Like, damn, can we get a black guy? You know what I mean? In the title.
I mean, he could be in the picture. He ain't winning. But he could be in
I
the
know
picture.
he's not gonna win. I mean, I just, I want him to have another match against Roman. You know what I mean? A good match, a Triple H, booked match where they get 25 minutes and they get to go out there and show what they could do.
I can see it happening at day one.
Yeah, true. That's a big time match to start the year.
Yeah, because Brock's going to be there, and we can't do Brock versus
No,
Roman Reigns. That's dead.
Please,
So,
please, for the love of
which is going to be
God.
interesting. Who the hell they're going to have against? We can run it back. Finn Balor versus
That match
Brock
needs to
Lesnar
happen
part 2.
again.
Let's
That
run it
match
back.
Finn already said he wanted to do it again. Finn
Yeah, we'll
said,
do it again.
Finn said, I remember.
That's the thing to catapult him for after WrestleMania. He's the next in line.
Facts. Physax. All right. So after he stomped out them, we had Seth Rollins out there. He's called out Matt Riddle. And Riddle came out and they start arguing. They got real disrespectful again because Seth Rollins, damn it, trying to trigger 60% of men on the planet. You know what I mean? Oh, you can't. What did he say? You can't see your kid. What did he say? He said something about his kids, how he couldn't see his kids. I was like, yo, man, that's too personal, man, because people, all the stories, the people know what's going on. Like, it's like, why are we using this? Like, it's making me uncomfortable. I don't like it. You know what I mean? But then Matt Riddle came back with some corny jokes.
This was the best Matt Riddle's for as far as his
man, it's
comebacks.
just he can't. He too goofy, bro. He too goofy for
Yeah,
me
but
to
he
take
got
any of
serious
this
on
shit
this when he
serious.
was like, you basically tell him the Jay-Z line, look at your own videos, you'll always be number 2.
I mean, yeah.
But Jay-Z was talking to Mace when they were having their beef. And basically was
cool.
like, you were carrying Roman's bags and,
That'd be
it was
cool
great
if
seeing
you
you
were
with-
number 1. But if he's always gonna be number 2, you know what I mean? Like, that means you're always gonna be behind him. So I'm confused on how that's an actual diss.
But this is again, you also have Roman. Seth Rollins last night was like, this is the same thing I did to Cody Rhodes. I was like, you did nothing.
Yeah, that was weird. I didn't like that. I was like, wait a minute, Cody Rhodes. Wait a minute, 1, 2, 3. Wait a minute, all 3 times. I was so one arm at one point. So it was like, wait a minute, that's inaccurate.
He's the delusional heel. But that's where I like what Riddle said to him. He was like, I like the last time that you main evented WrestleMania. And he was like, wait a minute, you never did. That was your wife. Like, he was like, you're never going to, he's like, hey, we both never going to be that guy that main events because you haven't done it yet. Seth will, I don't know when. I feel like
But don't
still
we don't count
away.
we don't count the Money in the Bank cash in? It was the main event. And he left with the title. That was, I mean, he was in the match.
He wasn't.
Like,
He wasn't headlines. Like,
I mean, he was in the main event. He main evented.
he was in the
technically.
main event.
He
But,
main
but
evented.
this is the thing. When you talk about it, you're talking about who is putting the butts in the seats.
Yeah,
He's a
he
surprise.
wasn't. Yeah, facts.
Surprises don't
facts.
put butts in the seats unless it's
Facts,
Raw
facts.
after
Yeah,
WrestleMania.
okay,
That's it.
yeah. That makes more sense. Yeah, that makes more sense. Who's selling the tickets to the show? That's facts.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, it was they had their little standoff, their little interaction, and then you saw some pre-record. This was awkward to me, Fizz. I ain't gonna lie. This was awkward because they having this heated exchange. and they got Seth said there was a no physicality rule or the match was off, so they couldn't hit each other. And then Daniel Cormier popped up on the screen with a pre-recorded video and just like, you guys just, it's too many, too much bullshit. All y'all doing is bickering and whining. And, we got to put an end to this. So there's only one man that can handle the cage. It's my home. You know what I mean? Riddle. You know what I mean? We know. You know what I mean? Seth. You know what I mean? I'm a fan of yours, but fuck all that because I'm calling it down the middle. You know what I mean? So that's basically what he said.
Yeah, WWE kind of ruined this by announcing that Daniel Cormier was going to be the ref early on in the night.
Yeah. Why just have him
We
pop
already
up
knew
on the
that. We
screen
didn't
and play
need
the
him to
video?
then explain it. Like once you explained it earlier in the night, you shouldn't have let Ariel Helwani. I get it why you did it because Ariel Helwani is tapped in. He is Mr. UFC, so you want the news to spread. But you could have did it later. You could have had it time for later in the night for that to happen. As soon as he came up, hit send. That's technically what Shams and Woj do when somebody gets on like TV and right before they say their first word, the article's already out. That's technically what WWE should have done. And I mean, they'll learn because it kind of made him being up there redundant at the end of the day because we already knew he was going to be a ref. And the way that it was announced was like, this was new information. We were finding out when we already knew it.
True. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it just didn't, and it just felt awkward because it was pre-recorded. You could tell it was pre-recorded because it's not like they were responding or he was asking. It was just obvious it was pre-recorded. And it just felt, it was weird, like trying to interact with a pre-recorded video, and it was just weird. And so and just Matt Riddle's comebacks, like Seth is saying some real personal messed up stuff. Like somebody saying, "Oh, your wife is hotter than you." That's not gonna offend me. You know what I mean? I'd be like, yeah, that's why I'm with her. You know what I mean? Stupid. You know what I mean? So it's like,
I mean, you're saying hot as far as not looks, but
I know that's what I'm
as
saying. As far as
company.
popularity, it's like, but they both popular, so it's like still not a diss. What you?
But
gotta
this is the
marry- you
thing.
gotta-
It didn't work for you, but it worked for the crowd last night, and that's all that matters.
Yeah. I mean, well, did it? Because the
Yeah,
crowd,
the crowd was going. Oh,
they did the
like,
bro.
that was one of
They
the
tried to
first
do it. They
times
was
that
off a little bit. They
did
tried.
that with him.
Yeah, I mean that was if the crowd would have nailed the chant, it probably would have made the whole segment better. But it was the crowd kind of fumbled the bag a little bit.
They couldn't, but he was also fumbling that part as well.
Yeah. So it could have been cleaner, but it was cool. Now let's get to something that was real interesting. We saw Candice LeRae walking backstage as she ran into Bianca Belair, Asuka, and Alexa Bliss, and that's when we saw Physics. Another QR code. I'm pretty sure you've been keeping up with all the madness going on with he who shall not be named. We all know who it is, but all the madness going on with Bray. We're going to get into it in detail from beginning to right now, later on at 5:30 on the news. But what do you think about everything that's happening? Did you see the new clues in what's going on with Bray or whoever it is?
Of course, I was replying back about the predator language, Utani's and all that. Like, this is the thing. Bray is kind of like me. He is a film geek, and also he loves art. He's really big into Renaissance, which I'm also am as well.
That's what's up.
Even though the one he put up, for, I think it was like Juan Pablo. I can't remember the last dude's name. But that's not technically Renaissance art. That's kind of done a little bit later. But he's into the same type of stuff I'm into. So seeing the amount of work that's put in, I mean, to the point where you have to go to a binary code to decode these things, look into the URL source code to know what's going on inside of there. And this was the first time this week that the QR code does not go to the next show. Usually each one would go from Raw and it tells you go to SmackDown and then you go from there. This was the first one that didn't go to SmackDown. It was the first one to say Extreme Rules. It skipped SmackDown with all its coordinates in its date.
So maybe we don't have anything going on with SmackDown. I love this shit. Like, this shit is genius to me. Like, it just reminds me of the movie Seven. You know what I mean? It just reminds me of that shit and how intricate or fucking what's the Kaiser Sose With the fuck, man. What's the name?
That's
of that
Usual
movie?
Suspects.
Usual Suspects. It just reminds me of some
These
real
guys are so good.
intricately,
Yeah.
like, just like, I love shit like this. Like you said, you're a movie buff. I ain't gonna call myself a movie buff, but I'm a writer. You know what I mean? So I've written all kind of crazy stories myself. So I I can appreciate what he's doing and how detailed he is about doing it. And even though you know who the hell it is, because it's so obvious at this point, unless they're giving someone else his gimmick, you know what I mean? It's still like intriguing and fun to follow along with. So he's killing it right now. But yeah, tune in at 5:30. We'll be diving in deep on that a little bit more.
And this was I was because I won't be on that show, but it's the first one that really delved into it, going at Alexis. And I like that if you look at when
You
the
mean
stuff
Alexa
started getting
Bliss?
crazy, yeah,
Oh, okay.
with
You
the
said
whole
Alexis.
Samson and
I was like,
yeah,
who?
with the whole hand that was like over her, because you could see once it started going visual, it was like a hand.
It was so weird. I thought my TV was messing up.
And then you could kind of see that it's like there's a Bray Wyatt figure behind her, and then of course
Right.
the Samson and Delilah, which he referenced right after WrestleMania 37. That was technically the last thing he did WWE wise, and the fact that this was the next thing that popped up is great. It's and I feel like he's coming with people. I don't think it's just going to be him.
Thank you. This is what I'm thinking, because why did everybody just disappear? Why did Baron Corbin and Tommaso Ciampa and all these motherfuckers just disappear? Like, I don't know about, Gruss said Elias reincarnated, but there's like a few people just disappeared that shouldn't have disappeared. You know what I mean? And I don't feel like I feel like they left to be repackaged. I don't like. Tommaso was literally in the middle of a storyline with the Miz. So I'm like, all right, so he's just, Miz even said it last night. I don't know, I ain't seen Ciampa. Where the hell he been? You know what I mean? So it's just like, I even think Dexter Loomis might be, I don't know. It's just a lot going on.
There's a lot of clues that point to other wrestlers. You had the first one pointed towards Karrion Kross. And at the time, 923, Karrion Kross was choking out Drew McIntyre.
Right.
And saying, this is what we wanted. And it was like, okay, is we, you, and Scarlett, or is we, you, and somebody else? Of course, you have Dexter Loomis. We don't know why he started doing his thing. Of course, there's the last TikTok that was up for the whole White Rabbit thing was a wolf with like 3 little pigs.
Yeah.
And there's only one lone wolf who we haven't seen in a long time. And then the Baron Corbin.
Yeah, the Corbin.
And then it was Corbin, Kentucky.
Yeah,
where
bro.
White Rabbit Records is in, where the Wyndham Hotel is in. And then last night, you had a binary code that spelled out Gacy.
Yeah. Oh my God, man. It's too much. It's too much. I can't.
Like, it would be amazing if it came back as
the Wyatt Six, bro.
Yeah, why do you change the name?
Why do you even say that? What is that shit?
And I feel like when after the Roman thing happens, I feel like at the end of Extreme Rules, who's ever the last people in the ring, there's gonna be multiple people in the ring beating them down, and then the lights are gonna code on towards the ramp. And then we're going to see Bray Wyatt, and then everybody's going to go crazy. And it's it's the season premiere for Raw. That's the boom. We started the new season. We're good to go. We're gone now. We're off to the races.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Because we all know that Brooklyn's going to have to start with Bray Wyatt coming out.
Yeah, because they're gonna be so thirsty. Yeah. Especially if he shows up at Extreme. It has.
And you already got Bloodline going to be in there. You got DX that's going to be in there. Possibly Sasha Banks and Naomi.
And Raw needs it. Raw needs it, and Raw needs a shot in the arm right now, because a lot of this stuff, even with this match that we talk about next, Candice LeRae going up against Dakota Kai, one half of the Women's Tag Team Championship. I feel like them bringing Candice LeRae in, it's great. I love Candice LeRae. She's a great in-ring performer, all that good stuff, but it just feels like kind of blah, because everybody's so like wrapped up in this White Rabbit shit. I feel like her return is kind of getting lost in the sauce. Johnny Gargano is is a little bit the same, but he's fighting it off a little bit better just because Johnny Gargano is Johnny Gargano. You know what I mean?
All it's going to take for Candice LeRae is for her to do her usual, and that's do something crazy.
Right.
And
yes.
it's going to shift everything
Is she in
because
a match
out
on
of all the
Saturday?
women, out of all the women there, it's really as far as like you need somebody to do something crazy. It's going to be Candice LeRae, Io Sky, and Shotzi, and especially Shotzi because she don't really care about what happens to her body
or anybody else's.
But it's like you need Candice LeRae to go through 32 chairs that are stacked up. She will do it. And Io Sky will jump off whatever the tallest thing is. Like, I feel like we're kind of at a stopgap, and it feels also that I feel like a lot of people are gonna that NXT women's style has like picked up over the years a lot faster than what the WWE women do. And it's always interesting to see when like Dakota Kai and everybody else, and it's like y'all are going very slow. And I feel like y'all are doing this because y'all know you're on TV, but when it's gonna like when y'all in the UK, y'all are going at y'all speed. And it's like, are y'all going slow because you know once we get to the pay-per-views, we're going all in. And we're gonna go as fast as we are, we're just gonna BS and not show how great we can be when it comes to these Raws and SmackDown unless we get asked to put on, you know, one of those legendary matches that come every few months on Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, I'll be with it. Let's check on the chat. What's cracking, Wild Nation? You already know what it is.
Attention, Wild Nation!
Thanks for stopping through, everybody that's in the building already. KGM, Grush, you already know what it is. My guys, my bros. What's cracking? Who else in the building? Oh, I just see KGM and Grush. Who is this? Research. I can't pronounce that. I hope that Rollins going for the U.S. title feud with Riddle doesn't mean that there is the slightest chance of Bray attacks Riddle over Randy. No, I hope that ain't.
I don't think that's gonna be the
I don't
case.
think that. I hope Randy don't get involved in this shit. Like we
don't even know if Randy's gonna be back anytime soon.
Just Randy and Bray in the same sense.
Or I mean, this is WWE is doing this weird thing of when they're like telling people are signed or they're hurt, and then they eventually pop back up and like we're good. So I mean, hey, we talk about the Y6. Why not Bray being back in? So
yeah, yo, Grush said I hope Bray troll everyone with the bunny that wrestled with Adam Rose in 2014.
That'd be great.
That would be hilarious, yo. That would be hilarious if the bunny.
That'd be the most WWE thing as
covered
far
in
as
blood
like,
or some shit. Like
the what is it? The gobbling turkey and all of that. Like
right.
The gobbledygook. Like
this motherfucker found a milk carton.
It's just a badass version of the rabbit from Adam Rose, and he's kicking everybody's ass. He's the new Undertaker.
Because it's so weird that that's a thing. Like the White Rabbit. It's like, how did that become the center of his idea? I don't even. It's crazy. I guess there's just so many clues that he could point to that tied into what he was doing. I can't get inside of his mind. He's on some crazy shit. Research, no audience engagement here, and seems like a pre-recorded video. Well, be ghosting, motherfucker, Casper. You know what I mean? Goddamn, no patience at having at damn boy. You need some friends, man. Stop doing that, man. Goddamn, hey man, I'm not about to explain myself. You know what I mean? Wild Nation know what it is. You know what I mean? Goddamn, we can't do a 3-hour show. We gotta get through some of the review. Shit. Who else here? Money in the Bank don't count. He wasn't on Billboard. Yeah. I agree with you, Fizz, on that one. You wanted Ken Shamrock to be the ref for the fight pit?
It would have been great, but you know they wanted that UFC people from the outside. But
yeah.
But I mean, the fact, the Lions Den, you think about it, the fight pit, it's just it's a elevated version of the Lions Den.
And Cormier, I think, he's bringing more eyeballs than Ken Shamrock. Let's just call it what it is. Yeah,
that's basically
not
it.
Even,
if it was NXT, putting Ken Shamrock works, right, because you're bringing a history of everything that he's already done.
True that.
Or Steve Blackman.
Shotzi is reckless. Yeah, I'm not a fan. KGM. Definitely not a fan of Shotzi. I used to like Shotzi in NXT. She just got too sloppy on the main roster. I just don't want her to hurt nobody or herself. You know what I mean? So
I mean, I
she's
feel
got
like
to
she's
slow
getting
down
sloppy
sometime.
because she's tired of people missing her at times. So, like I'm tired of jumping through these ropes and nobody's there. So, everybody's getting dropped. Y'all need to catch me.
It is. Yo, this thing. The bars is
Like,
back.
how do I
Let's
keep
go.
over jumping everybody? That's impossible. Put a hand up.
I mean, now you sound like Two-Face. I mean, it is what it is. That's it. It's you and Two-Face with this. Y'all catch.
That's basically what it is. It's like, y'all
I
better
mean,
catch me.
people do be botching trying to catch her though. I just remember she folded herself that one time, folded herself backwards. Man, it's just she's a little scary when she's wrestling, but it is what it is.
Like
the
when
match she
Montez
had
jumps over and then everybody kind of like staring and just
that was brutal.
that one time where he just hit the
Plopped on his
steel
back.
ramp,
Yeah, that was
and
brutal.
everybody was just like,
like, damn, bro, that looked like it hurt.
And I'm pretty sure the Miz was there. I feel like the Miz was there. I don't know. He probably was. He's always in the vicinity when a wrestler.
It's hard to know how high or far Montez gonna jump though, because he be all over the place. He could jump far, he could jump high. You know, I mean, it's a little understandable. He should aim better. Montez should aim better. He's definitely one that needs to aim better. But let's talk about this match real quick. I mean, it was a cool match. It wasn't nothing that special. I mean, it went on. I mean, I don't even know. They got a little time. I don't know how much time. It felt like it was a 10-minute match. But Io Sky, I still gotta stop saying Shirai. Still gotta break that habit. But yeah, Io Sky ended up winning because obviously Dakota Kai jumped up on the ring apron and Bailey fucking knocked her off the top rope, or was she on? She was on the top rope and she tried to do a springboard and she pushed her foot off the ropes, and that allowed Io to get the roll up for the 1, 2, 3 because she ain't had no help. You know what I mean? All the girls that said they was with her, you know what I mean, just stay backstage and watch her get jumped while there was two up. But we ain't gonna never mind that because then they start beating her up, and Bailey was about to fuck her up. You know what I mean? Bailey put her in the ladder, it looked like she was about to hurt her, and then Bianca ran out and made the save and all that good stuff. So, yeah. What'd you think of it? Yeah, I mean, it was whatever.
It was a decent
whatever.
match.
It was decent, yeah.
I mean, I liked the drop kick Candice did through the ropes. The way it was framed as far as the camera angle, great, because it looked like she came out of nowhere when she landed it. But I mean, it was a okay match. None really, like I said, it feels like they were just like going through the numbers.
It feels like it's been
and
that
also
way
it
for
feels
a
like
month with this feud, bro. This feud
Io
just
Sky,
sucks.
she has to slow down because she hasn't been back in a while, and it seems like she's still working off ring rust with how she used to be.
This feud sucks. Everything about this shit. I don't know what happened to the women's division on Raw, and I don't blame Bianca. I blame the booking because just having her tied to Asuka and Alexa is just. I hope they're about to be done with that now that the Fiend's coming back.
They're about to be done with it.
Looks like Asuka may have gotten ridden off for a little bit. I don't know what's happening with that, but they jumped her backstage a little later. We'll talk about that, I guess. But Johnny Gargano was walking backstage and Miz was passed out because Dexter Lumis earlier in the night had appeared behind him. Miz didn't see him though, but apparently he had got choked out and left a drawing on the Miz's chest. This kind of jumped the shark for me. So I don't. Dexter Lumis, I mean, it's just like who keeps letting him in the building? Does he have a contract?
Nobody.
Why does he?
Nobody lets
how
him
is
in the
he
building.
there?
He just gets in there. It's what he does.
What is he doing to the Miz, and why is he returning him? The Miz, I don't understand what's happening. It's just so crazy. The Miz just pops up at work the next day, it was a dream. I guess it's a dream. I was just like, what is he doing, Miz? I don't want to talk about it. Did he rape you? No, great. It's YouTube. I'm sorry. Did he grape you? What's going on? What is happening? Show me where it hurts. Show me on the doll where he touched you. Man, I don't want to talk about it. It's like, come on, man. I don't know where this story is going. What are they doing? Dexter better be a part of the Wyatt Six at this point. He better just be a part of the whole torturing everybody in the company because this shit has jumped the shark. It was funny for 3 weeks. I think it jumped the shark when They did the
But
whole
that's the
him
thing. I
sliding
don't think
from
it's
under the
supposed to be
ring.
funny. I think people are taking it as funny,
'Cause it's
but it's not
goofy.
supposed to be.
Okay, I mean,
But it's
all right.
goofy. But he's this. This is
That's
the thing.
possible.
Dexter Loomis's character is basically Dexter from the show Dexter. His whole thing is going around and stealing people, kidnapping them, and almost basically killing them. That's
Right.
his whole gimmick. That they kind of did on NXT, and they kind of shifted away from it as time went on with NXT because of him and Indy.
Miz done got some bruises or something on his face. He need to like, I don't. It's just like, damn, man, need to be reacting
I
funny or
feel
something.
like the next step, we're slowly gonna get like a Stockholm syndrome of the Miz, and the Miz is going to technically be the advocate for Dexter because Dexter doesn't talk, and he's basically going to turn into Dexter's manager, and he's slowly going to basically turn him towards him being his manager, and then it's Dexter Loomis and the Miz going from there on.
Gruss is stupid. It's the emoji that did it for me. Gruss, you wild, man. Stop it. But after that, we seen a video package of Chad Gable and Braun Strowman and everything. Braun Strowman beating him up all over the place. Austin Theory was on commentary for the match. The next match, we had Chad Gable versus Johnny Gargano.
No, we had Otis.
No, what am I saying?
versus-
Yeah, I was like, what? Otis. It's Otis with Chad Gable versus Johnny Gargano. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. And this match was good, man. This match was good. Yeah. Gargano sidestepped Otis, hit him in the mouth at one point, put on the arm wrench and drop toe hold. You know what I mean? He was obviously running rings around Otis, but Otis showed his strength. Gargano got to the, he hit the ropes at one point and ducked a couple clotheslines, but then tried to hit a shoulder tackle. Otis just stumbled a little bit. He didn't really move, you know what I mean? But, he hit Gargano with a back elbow, which was basically like getting smacked in the face with a ham hock. And then Otis he put Gargano in the corner and started beating him up with a bunch of clubbing fists while he was talking some trash. Like, oh, yeah, he don't say tucky no more. He got some new trash talk. Yeah, then he what'd he do? He hit, he tried to hit Gargano outside the ring, but Gargano sidestepped. Otis hit the post. Then Gargano hit some clotheslines on him, which is pretty impressive because, he doesn't have a neck. So it's kind of just punching him in the face, I guess.
Top chest area.
Right.
Shoulders.
Otis grabbed him and Gargano fought out and hit his Izaguri at one point. Then a running back elbow and Otis crushed him with an exploder suplex and then hit him with he started setting up for the Vader bomb, but Gargano moved and then he kicked him in the head a couple times and then just Otis crushed him with a an actual clothesline because Johnny does have a neck, and then he pressed Gargano above his head, you know what I mean, and then Gargano countered with a DDT, got a super kick for a near fall. So, what'd you say?
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful
yeah,
DDT.
that shit was sweet. That DDT was pretty fucking sweet. Otis rolled out, tried to roll out the ring so he could recover from the DDT. Gargano hit him with a suicida or suicide or whatever you want to call it. Then Gargano, what'd he do? He dove over the table to attack Theory because obviously he's got a little thing going on with Austin Theory. I guess that's where we're headed with those two. You know what I mean? The match.
They
between
no
those
longer
two.
know the way.
Yeah, it's the way has been lost. Then Gargano got up on the ring apron to hit Otis with a diving DDT on the floor. Otis somehow got to his feet pretty quick though, and Gable was distracting the referee for him. Then Theory hit Gargano with the briefcase because that's how it's gonna go. And Otis hit the Mark Henry for the 1, 2, 3. And this match was
Somebody
fun.
was
Man.
gonna get the ass kicked.
Yeah. This is a fun match.
Definitely was.
Yeah, and I enjoyed it. Definitely one of Otis's best singles matches, and that's probably not surprising, being that he's in the ring with Johnny Gargano. And that theory, ladies and gentlemen, was proven immediately again right afterwards because they just transitioned into another match between Chad Gable and Braun Strowman. You want to talk about this one?
Yeah, another fun match. Follow right back up. And it's fun because of just Chad Gable. The things I
Ridiculous,
feel
bro.
like there's.
It's ridiculous.
We all know how strong Claudio, aka Cesaro is.
Chad,
We also know how strong Riddle is because Riddle can do some crazy feats of strength. But Chad Gable is another dude that's on another level because, I mean, it was the best move of the night.
literal superpowers. I was like, how did he do that?
That suplex. That is a quick match. Like, it didn't really last long. Braun Strowman, of course, was going to win. We all knew exactly what was going to happen. But just the offense that Gable got and the strength that man showed off with the suplex, because you got to have the power to do it. That's not one where you go like, all right, it's all Braun giving him help. It was like, nah, that's all him doing exactly what
he ran him
and
into the
bridging.
ring post and had him stumble. When they went to commercial, like Braun was the one that was stumbling outside the ring and shit. Like they gave Chad a lot of offense and they gave him the best spot of the match for sure. You know what I mean?
I feel this is the thing I love about, and I mean, this is why NXT, Black and Gold work. It made the smaller wrestlers seem like them being in the ring, there's a possibility they can win.
Right.
Under tutelage of the guy that we should not name, the guy that used to hide murders and steroids and all type of stuff.
Yeah, that guy.
It was just never the case. But it's like, even when they lose, the fact that, we saw Mustafa Ali lose, we saw Chad Gable lose, but we saw them get enough offense in that at the end of the night, it's like, we talking about the stuff that they did.
Yeah, you could take
and
it
not
serious.
About these big wrestlers and what they're doing and how they look. No, we're talking about the craziness. Even Johnny Gargano. Because it's like, it feels like we're slowly doing the ball of Johnny Gargano turning into what Daniel Bryan was.
Right.
But I feel like we have a group of wrestlers that can fit into that mode, and it's going to make things more exciting, especially when we have the next Money in the Bank. And when you get, I mean, you got the NXT ladder matches were always fun, especially the North American things, because they would have maybe one or two big guys, and everybody else was just a small guy that was going to do something crazy.
Yeah.
Because I was like, Money in the Bank. I mean, throw Cody Rhodes in, he's going to do something crazy. Throw Johnny Gargano in, he'll do something crazy. You got to have Ricochet. He's going to do something crazy. Maybe Mustafa. Like, we have enough people that.
Just don't put Otis in it again.
Yeah. But we have enough people where it can be fun, and you don't know
Absolutely.
what innovative offense is going to happen. So, like, hey, Triple H is really good at making people lose look good. I mean, I was in the tag with you, and you were talking about Triple M and their whole thing. It's like, they lose, but they're entertaining.
They're hilarious,
and
though. I love Maximum Male Models. Pause. But yeah, you know what I mean?
But they have moves. They have moves that make them look fun.
Nah, yeah, they can actually wrestle. Like, I like them as a tag team. They should win some matches. You know what I mean? It's like, they're both good wrestlers. That's why I'm saying I don't want them to go away at all. Yeah, like, I like them with Maxine ain't LA Knight. She ain't as good as him, but she's a good enough manager. Yeah, she's a good enough manager to do what she do with them. And I just keep them around for as long as the gimmick is entertaining, then fade it out whenever it's not. So that's all.
Oh, a little rant side with Gruss says he hates on a future legend almost. I'll say this: the way that
they was back there watching the match, I was about to mention it.
But the way that Almost Wrestle now is a lot different than when he was under the name of the other guy.
Because he's
a lot quicker now.
Everybody does.
He's a lot more athletic now,
yeah.
which is like he's not the slow stumbling. Like, he's doing some things, and it's like it's getting quite interesting. And
everybody is just wrestling as good as they can wrestle now.
The two giants are going to have to face.
Yeah, it's going to happen. It's WrestleMania. They just do it at WrestleMania. It's a spectacle. I want to see it. I ain't gonna even lie. I'm not interested. I don't expect it to be a good wrestling match, but I still want to see it because they're giants and it's wrestling, so it's cool. It's fucking circus. But yeah, so that's when what we have after that.
Angelo Dawkins versus Solo Sikoa.
Yeah. So this match was good. This match was more than good. I think it was, it was
Angelo Dawkins been showing
He's
his
going
ass
in.
off the
That's
last
what I was
few
about to
weeks.
say. You could say the same thing about him that you just said about Amos, because he's like wrestling better than he's ever. He dove over the top rope last. I was like, so now that
I think he's
Montez
wrestling better than
doing his move?
Montez at the moment.
He is
As far
the
as
hot
matches.
tag, though. He is the hot tag. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I agree. Because I think Montez's shit is more about character. Like, he gets in there shaking the ropes, and you want to see how high he gonna jump on the frog splash. But as far
He's the
as
baby
wrestling
face. He's the super
moves,
baby face.
yeah. But wrestling, I agree with you, which is crazy. That's just to think about that and where those dudes came from. And how people view the two of them, compared to people saying, oh, he's going to be the next Rock for Montez. And damn, poor Angelo Dawkins. But, man, it's holding his own, man. You can't really slight him. He's definitely doing what he's supposed to do.
Which is going to make, if they do the Street Profits match where they face each other, because I feel like if you're going to do it, you got to make,
not yet.
I know he has that baby face feel, Montez, but something about him being a cocky heel will work. So
nah, him and Bianca need to be heels. Like they would be.
I feel like he'll technically be Carmelo Hayes if he does it.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Carmelo is probably coming up to the main roster soon. They are very similar.
Yeah.
They are very similar.
Yeah.
But
Like if he turned heel, he'd just be a bigger version of Carmelo.
Yeah. And he got jacked.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that was I felt like they were headed that way because he got all swole looking like a fucking.
I mean, that's how he came into the Performance Center. He was huge when he came into the Performance Center.
Oh, okay.
I guess somebody told him, because I guess they saw his leaping ability,
Trimmed down.
and they were like, trimmed down. Homie's not going to like it. That's why Brian Cage has never made it here, because you can't be big and doing 450. So you gotta slim it down. But
or dumb down your
if
moves.
you want to take that next level, getting bigger is technically what you got to do anyways.
Yeah, true. Dawkins is D'Lo Brown 2.0. He just need a finisher. D'Lo had 2 finishers. Yeah, D'Lo had the frog splash, a beautiful frog splash. Can't forget that. What was his other one? Was it that power bomb? That
It was the power bomb.
Yeah, the power bomb. Yeah. D'Lo was great, man. I used to love watching D'Lo wrestle. He was one of my favorite wrestlers during the Attitude Era. You know what I mean? He was hilarious too. You know what I mean? So gotta love D'Lo Brown.
Never needed a chiropractor. He got it himself.
He said, he said, you thought Roman Reigns was dominant. Wait till Gruss. Stop. Just stop wishing that on anybody. We don't need that. We don't want to see it ever in the history of mankind. Don't want to see it. What we have after, we missed some. I skipped over some.
I mean, the match was great. Solo Sikoa is a beast.
No, I skipped over. Oh no, but we mentioned it earlier. Asuka getting jumped backstage by Bianca, because who was out there cutting the promo? Bailey was cutting the promo, or Bianca or somebody. Bianca and Bailey.
They were doing their
That's
Bianca,
what it was. I was like, I skipped.
They were doing their contract signing.
Yeah, I wrote Bailey and Bianca and forgot what the fuck I was. What happened? But yeah, it was the contract signing. And they were out there, and Bailey was talking shit to her and talking about how she gonna have her girls out there with her during her match and blah blah blah, and you ain't got no help. And then she said, "Where's my girls at?"
And the whole, she threw a shot at Lizzie, basically,
Right,
like girls wearing their little ponytails like me and
Yeah.
yada yada. But it wasn't real but I love that the whole. Bianca's whole thing was like, girl, you did a whole year. Waited a whole year just to say this. Cool. All right, move on.
Yeah, she did, and that, like, honestly,
She's like, we don't want to hear that.
A lot of things about Bianca that makes her a heel to me, but I ain't gonna even get into that. But yeah, it's like she's like, girl, no.
And the crowd was like, yeah, we don't want to hear none of
Just don't
that. The
be
crowd
a
was like,
stereotype.
yeah, we don't want to hear.
Not trying to.
So it
be
was
a
like, well, Bailey, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is like she was like, get the fucking violin, Bailey. Like, who gives a shit? You know what I mean? It's
We
like,
don't care.
nobody cares. You know what I mean? So that's when
Yeah,
she was
basically,
like,
the Stephen A. Smith.
me and my girls
We
supposed to
don't
go
care.
out to dinner. You know what I mean? And she was like, where they at? And then they cut backstage, and you saw Alexa Bliss and Asuka getting jumped, and they smashed Asuka's leg in the chair. And Bianca ran back there, but she was too late because they had already dipped off. But then we had the match between. Oh, go ahead.
And Alexa Bliss had her mean face It's like,
Yeah, staring into the camera. You, me,
it's not over
later.
yet.
Bro, this, oh my God, I was so fucking dumbfounded by something that happened later in this show as far as what match ended up being the main event, because it was that one. I was like, wait a minute, what's happening? Wait a minute, Alexa Bliss versus, who did she go up
Io
against?
Sky.
EO? Yeah, EO.
Io Sky.
Is the main event of the night? No, this is not what happened to Monday Night Raw. Is broken. So I guess.
No, this is how it's going to be. This is how NXT was before they got into their big pay-per-view.
I feel like it's
It-
football. I feel like
it-
they're like
it-
they're not trying to compete with the end of the second half of the football game. So they do like the beginning of the show at the end of the show now. That's what it feels like.
But no, but they
No way in hell
wanted.
this
They
should've
knew
been
what
a
they were
main
gonna. They knew that the last shot of that whole night was going to be Bailey on top of the ladder. That's how you end the night, and that's exactly what they were going for.
Yeah, I guess that's
so.
what they were
That's
trying to
why.
get to.
That's why it ended up being the last thing.
Yeah.
And I also feel like it's a hint that they know that Io Sky is the next thing that they're going to be doing, and of course, Io Sky versus
see that.
Asuka is.
Yeah, that's
is
money.
brewing.
That's money. Yeah, that's a money match, right?
So they like they've. This is not the what. This is like second time that Io Sky's been in the main event for the end of a Raw or a SmackDown. Like this is
they've been pushing.
They put her in a
Control hard
position
as
to be
hell.
like this is. And they need to bring back her music. Like I get it, she's with Damage Control.
Yeah,
but
that's part of
her
the
music
thing
is what
that's
makes
missing.
her, and her look and her staggering
The
out.
lights flickering and all that. You need that back for Io. Yeah, they definitely need that back. Her stumbling to the ring and shit. Like, it's. I don't like Control as a group. I ain't gonna lie. I don't think none of that shit match. None of them like match each other. I could like maybe Bailey and Dakota. I think just Io's just. And not because she's Asian, you know what I mean? It's just her style.
I think Bailey's the
so
odd one
different.
out. I think Io.
Yeah, I
and
agree.
Dakota,
I agree. Bailey.
they
is the
work
one
together because they
yeah.
both can. Like they have those moments when like they both speak in Japanese, and then
Right,
like Bailey's
right.
just like what they said.
Exactly.
I don't know what they said.
Exactly.
What they said.
Right. So it's it is what it is. Hopefully they'll figure it out. I think they're gonna put the title on Bailey. If I had to make my pick today. But yeah, we did have Solo Sikoa coming out with the Usos and Sami Zayn after that, going up against Angelo Dawkins. I wrote Angel Dawkins. And he was with Montez, who was in a boot, which was pointed out earlier by the Usos. Yeah, and it's a good match, man. They, Dawkins is doing his thing. They locked up. It looked like Solo was gonna dominate the match because he's stronger. So when they locked up, he kind of stalled him out, threw him into the fucking corner or whatever, and hit him with a couple uppercuts. I think Zayn was trying to get involved a little bit. And I know towards the end, but I think at the beginning he tried to get involved a little bit. It was more kind of just talking sense into Solo while when Angelo got a little bit of offense. But Sikoa was beating down Dawkins. Dawkins was fighting back. He did his whole hot tag run that he does, all his moves that always ends with the silencer. One of my favorite moves that he does. One of my favorite wrestling moves right now. Like I called it the first time I ever seen him do it. I was like, I like it. I like that move. He's official now. He got to move. You know what I mean? He's the only one that does it that I know of. Like I think that was the moment when he started wrestling serious, when he bust out that move, the silences. So he had his whole little hot tag run that ended with that. He did an over the top rope dive onto the Usos at one point, which is kind of crazy. But because you had Sammy trying to run interference kind of to help out Solo. And then you had Jay like, nah, that's my brother. I help him out. I got him. And he's getting up on the ring apron. And they are literally arguing on the ring apron with each other, which ended up almost costing Solo the match. But it actually distracted the Solo, the referee to help Solo get the win. He hit that spinning back kick that he does. I don't know what it's called. It's just a spinning back kick. And then he hit him with that spinning Uranagi. He likes to spin a lot, basically. He got the 1-2.
And in Solo.
Yeah, spinning Solo. So, yeah, man, it was a good match, man. I like both of these
Also,
guys a lot.
Solo has one of the best Samoan drops.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's strong as shit. Clearly, yeah.
He does that joke correctly. And the fact you're doing it with Angelo Dawkins and you don't mess it up.
Yeah, because a lot of the times you're right. They just kind of like they either just like fall off their back or they be. It looks too loose. You know what I mean when they doing it. You know what I mean. I agree. So, he's definitely. You think Tamina's Samoa drop is pretty good.
It's good.
Yeah, I think
She
so.
knows.
To me,
Yeah,
it's
she has a really good one.
Yeah.
It's just that man, at times I forget she's even there anymore, man.
I don't even know how her name just.
We
popped in my
literally
head.
have two women that can be in the group and they could be a tag team. And then they could have took the belts. And then it's just all this
Literally
gold
right
with the
there.
bloodline. But
Literally, it's just right there. We've been saying that since the shit started. Like, why isn't Tamina in the bloodline? Why ain't Naomi in the bloodline? Like, they're literally related to these motherfuckers. They're part of the bloodline. Like, I don't get it. It don't make no sense. But hey, that was Vince McMahon. Maybe if it was all Triple H back then, it'd be different.
It would have already happened.
Yeah, it definitely probably would have.
I mean, shit, Paul Heyman has been talking about it for Paul Heyman has mentioned it, and Vince like, nobody wants to see that, and it's like, dude,
Yes, we do.
everybody wants to.
You're out of touch, bro. We saw Austin Theory talking to Otis, talking about Otis got the job done, how he did a good job or whatever. Chad Gable over there looking all broken. You know what I mean? He said I almost had him. And Theory said he's still not done with Gargano, so they'll face off next week. Then Alexa Bliss and Io Sky, we had them coming up a little later, but before that, we had Edge cutting a pre-tape promo. Do you want to talk about this? Because I'm bored with it. I can't even.
I mean, it's an Edge promo. They're always good.
It's
Pre-tape. That's what he does.
It's just like I can't do. I don't know, man. I don't. Am I tripping? Because it ain't doing it for me. This one didn't do. It was just like, all right, old man Edge, like, just you talk too fucking much. Like, I don't know what it is. Maybe that's the wrong way to look. It's just like, another long-winded ass promo. And then my daughters don't want me to, and my wife is worried about. She wants me to come home, and she's so worried. And well, motherfucker, go back home then. You gonna be here or you not? Like, make a decision. I don't want to hear about your fucking neck every 5 minutes. You know, Daniel Bryan bringing up his neck every 2 minutes.
I mean, Daniel Bryan probably should bring up his neck every 2 minutes because the amount of damage it happens every now and then is like, maybe you should be wrestling,
still
sir.
doing flying headbutts and shit. I'd be like, dang, what are you doing? What are you doing? Stop it. He's crazy. But yeah, this was another Edge promo. It was decent, man. I'm just bored with him. I feel like I've heard it before. You know what I mean? But Edge is still great. Then they announced that we're gonna have on the season premiere, we're gonna have Bobby Lashley going up against Seth freaking Rollins for the United States Championship, which is gonna be fire. And
He's taking that belt.
Celebration of 25 years of DX. I didn't even hear him say that, honestly, until you just said it. But yeah, so it's a good show. It probably should have ended there. That's all I'm gonna say. But
They wanted that shot. They wanted that shot.
I guess they just, I guess, man. I guess, but you
can't do that shot in the middle of the show and then it's like, and we're done. It's like, no.
Yes, you can.
We got set up ladders and stuff.
You can do it in the middle. I'm almost offended that it was at the end, and it just made me not want to see it even. Like,
this is the thing. Ladders for Raw or SmackDown only come in the beginning of the show or the end of the show.
Yeah, that's
if
true.
At the
That's
beginning of the
That's a
show,
good point.
there's 22 people in the ring sitting on ladders having a conversation.
Facts. Yeah, if I all sitting at the top of the ladder with microphones, like.
Yeah,
stage this bullshit.
It's such a weird thing.
It's the fucking.
But it's what they do for Money in the Bank. It's what happens, and then you end it being on top of one and putting your arm up, which is never really a good case because you don't want to be
usually lose,
show,
right? Yeah, that's what I'm like. Don't do that. That's you giving it away. We know how it works usually. Like we don't need.
You're kind of cursed when you when you have the upper hand.
It should be that at the pay-per-view. Like do that shot at the pay-per-view. Like damn it, man. Now we know who's gonna win. At least we think we do. But we had Alexa Bliss. she came out with Bianca Belair. Obviously, Asuka was busted up at that point. And she was going up against Io Sky, who was out there with Bailey and Dakota. So it was a decent match, man. It wasn't honestly. This match wasn't even really, you know. She did a beautiful moonsault because Io does beautiful moonsaults, and Alexa is Alexa. I mean, I want to be excited about it because I like these ladies as far as individually.
I mean, the best part was the beatdown. Like,
yeah, I feel like
they
when
went
they
for
beat them
it.
all down
I mean,
after the match, that was the best part of the shit.
Bianca getting hit with the ladder, that looked like
Yeah,
it hurt, and then it's still steps.
Yeah, the still step spot. Yeah. So the match was whatever, but the beat down afterwards was what really what was really good, and then damage control.
And that's all they were going towards. They were like, this match is just for the beat down.
Yeah.
And
That's
for
what
the
I'm saying,
visual,
it
for
don't
when we
need to
cut
be
this
this
promo, we
And
have
I guess
Bailey
man,
on top of the
have it main
of the
event.
ladder.
I don't give a shit. I guess. It just felt like it just fell a little flat having that be the main event. No disrespect to the ladies, it's more about the storyline. The story, it's nothing. Like, I'm sorry, Damage Control just like Bailey's promo game is like, I don't know, Roddy Piper from 1985. I don't fucking know. It's just, I take that back. It's nothing like that. It's not that good. It's very boring when she cuts promos, and Io ain't really cutting promos. They just got a couple lines for her and Dakota, basically. Bianca's promos.
I mean, they
all
got
the
to go.
same.
They got to do with EO what they did with NXT. They have to do all. I love when EO did the pre-tape ones, and we just used the subtitles, and she basically talked her shit. Because I mean, and I feel like we need to go that route when it comes to wrestlers that are not from here. Like,
yeah, just let them talk in their language and subtitle them. That would be tight when they do their promos. Like AEW does a shitload of pre-recorded promo. I mean, so does WWE. You can make it dope, but that's what I'm saying. Doing live promos, like, it's like you got to be trying to listen so hard to make sure that you're, understanding everything and the inflections and how she's trying to bring it across. Is like sometimes it takes you out of the actual promo, and sometimes she nails it. It's just kind of 50-50. But
who would be
I'd rather see
good
her as a solo
with the
act.
Wyatt group? Now that you mention it,
Who?
Shinsuke. Put him with him.
With the Wyatt group?
Yeah, if Wyatt has a crew that he's coming with, a stable, put Shinsuke, because we haven't seen him in a while. Put him with what we saw last week, but put him with them, and we have evil Shinsuke, and he could wear face paint, and we could go from there.
I mean, I'm intrigued. That would be kind of crazy. I'm kind of over the current Shinsuke gimmick. You know what I mean? He's like, he could definitely do something else. I don't even know what his gimmick is right now, honestly. He's like,
I mean, he had that banger
Shinsuke.
with Gunther, and then that was basically it.
That was pretty much it. Yeah, that was a great match. We was all like, yeah, Shinsuke's back. The old Shinsuke is back. And then it was just nothing. He's done nothing since, literally.
What if Shinsuke was the White Rabbit?
The irony.
Nobody would have guessed. Nobody would have
break.
guessed.
Everybody's brains on the internet would break. That would be hilarious.
Come out with a rabbit fur coat.
Right.
Shinsuke and the
God.
Rainmaker, and they're a
Stop
group
it.
called the White Rabbit.
Stop it.
I mean, I'll do anything to get Okada to WWE.
Stop it. That ain't happening. It's not happening. I think we
want him.
missed that boat.
Triple H wants that, man. Triple H was about to send that man $5 million, but New Japan was like, nah, we got this. So
yeah.
He's still young.
I was about to say he got time. I think he ain't going nowhere right now in his prime though. They not letting him
and
go.
Coda's trying to get his ass.
He's trying to get out of there. He's basically out of there. Why would they want him back? That's the most disgruntled employee they've ever had. Like, why would you?
He's worse than CM Punk with that. So
right, I was about to say he accused everybody of crazy shit. That's worse than just saying you're an idiot. You know what I mean? That's like he took that shit to the next level. But yeah, so it said, wait a minute, add who to? Wait a minute, add Montez to Hit Row? No, I don't want to hear Montez rap.
Russ was adding every black person to Hit Row.
Right, he's that guy.
Creating a black DX.
trying to do it, man. I'm like, nah, man. Like, I don't want. I was
Creating
mad when he was rhyming his fucking promo lines.
NODX. That's who he's creating.
The who?
NODX.
Yeah, I don't want to see it. I don't wanna
Nation
see
of
it.
Domination.
Right. He's just creating NWA. That's what he's doing. Trying to the wrestling NWA. That's what he's doing. No, I don't want to see that. Next time I see Edge, we want Christian with him. That would be awesome if they could be heels together.
I get Christian had like I feel like that man. He jumped the ship too quick.
Yeah, he definitely did. He definitely did. Like, bro, like just chill. But I mean, maybe not though, because I feel like he increased his stock. Because I don't know if he would have got to do the shit that he got to do in AEW and WWE the way he did it with Jungle Boy. You know what I mean? Like, I think, and you know what I mean? And Jungle Boy is just specific. Like, you got Dead Father that everybody's familiar with. Like, it just, the story just was there and somebody had to do it. And Christian nailed that shit. Hit it out the fucking park. I feel like he was one of the top heels in 2021, 2022. So it's
yeah,
like.
but it took a while to get there. Like, before we got to that point, we were kind of like, what is going on with Christian?
Well, it took a little. I mean, in WWE, yeah, definitely his last run, yeah. But then in
they would have shot put Edge versus Christian. That was,
yeah, of course. That's man. And now I
he
need
probably
that.
got a shot at Roman because that's a body to throw at Roman.
Like imagine Edge versus Christian right now with Edge babyface and Christian being the despicable heel that he is. Imagine how fucking great. Now you talking about some promo battles. Like they know all each other's personal business, right?
Some TNA Christian versus AJ Styles, doing it again.
Yeah, bro. Like that's a dream match right now. I feel like we have to see that before those guys retire. I don't care what.
Damn, Samoa Joe left too early. Samoa Joe left too early.
Yeah, he's another one who left. It's a lot of people can say that. Keith Lee left too early. You know what I mean? Swerve left too early. There's a lot of people who left too early.
They didn't know.
Nobody could tell the future.
It's
Nobody could tell the future. It sucks because I know Andrade left too early and he was pressed to leave. Alistair wants to go back. All these motherfuckers signed. Tony was smart. 5-year deal. Everybody. Nobody's going
Those
anywhere.
are crazy contracts.
That's a crazy
WWE
contract.
5-year contract.
I was like, yeah, nigga, that's wild, bro. Like you ain't even getting 1 million viewers barely. You signing the 5-year contracts. Like, what if your shit fizzle out? You still got to pay them. Like, it's crazy.
And there's talks of NBC, Comcast buying Warner Brothers, and if they buy Warner Brothers, AEW's under WWE, and WWE is Comcast is NBC's baby. So
yeah, facts.
I don't know what's going to happen to AEW.
That would be weird. That would be so awkward if they were owned by the same network. That would be really awkward and hilariously entertaining. I would like to see how Tony Khan would react to that. He'd probably just try to find a new TV deal somewhere if he could. But
yeah, he would probably try to get out of.
Yeah.
But that's the issue is what's his new TV deal going to be? Because that's going to guarantee what the future of AEW is going to be. And we'll know in the next few months of what's going to happen with that.
And if the company was to go in limbo, I'm sure there'd be a lot of wrestlers like, yeah, I'm fucking out of here. It's like, you ain't got no show. So,
and unfortunately, it's going to be too many people. They're not going to have enough space. So like.
They already don't have enough space. It's AEW's just. I mean, at this point,
that's what Triple H was telling them. It's hard doing It's hard doing a 2-hour show.
They literally watched WWE have the exact same problem. They saw people complaining about it. They saw a mass, like, wrestlers were like, yeah, I'm free. Finally, they not fucking using me, so I'm happy. I'm out of. There's so many. They were firing. They fired like 100 and something wrestlers in like a couple years. It's like you saw how bloated their roster was, and you just literally hired everybody. And now you got the same issues, all the same issues that they had before. You just fixed all their problems by taking a bunch of people off their.
Oh no, AEW, we're the diverse company. We're going to show all these wrestlers you're not going to see anywhere else, and then all those wrestlers have been falling to the wayside.
They're done. They're done. Yeah, I mean, like they're like Nyla Rose just
they bring Sunny Kiss every now and back when it's prime.
I mean, with the Trust Busters, that's why they just throwing them in weird ass groups. Like the Trust Busters is the most awkward shit I've ever seen. Like that's just the odd looking group. You know what I mean? It's just like look different as fuck. So I'm just like, shout out to Brian Orton. possibly related to Randy. Appreciate you and the sub, my guy. Thanks for joining Wow Nation.
And you know, Nyla Rose hit the whole when you're a monster and you start losing, it is hard for you to come back ever again.
Yeah, I've been saying that about her. Like, I was like, Nyla should have been had the title. Yeah, I mean, it's not realistic for her not to have the title. I mean, she had it at one point, but she should have it again. Like, you know, my big
but
thing,
that's the thing. It seems when you drop a belt when you're a woman and you drop a belt,
you
in
ain't getting it
AEW,
back.
Unless your name is Britt Baker,
Yeah,
you ain't
Britt,
getting
I mean,
it back no time soon.
She just be hovering around it. I don't even think she got it back. You know what I mean? Is she a 2-time champion? She is a 2-time champion, ain't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a 2-time champion, so she got it back.
She'd won it, and then she just been hovering around it.
Done.
She comes lose and then just disappears.
I've been
comes
screaming
back,
for
lose.
Serena Deeb to be champion because she deserves it. She's probably the best, you know, wrestler in the women's division in AEW, and they keep making her lose to people who aren't as good as her. I'm sorry. How the fuck is Toni Storm the champion if she been there for 2 months? That shit is really fucking annoying. And it's not like no hate towards Toni Storm. I like Toni Storm. She's decent in the ring. You know what I mean? She's good in the ring, and she's, you know what I mean? Nice to look at.
She brings eyes.
Yeah, so I ain't mad. I ain't mad at it.
But he pulled a Vince. That's a Vince move.
I mean, is she bringing eyes though? Like, their numbers ain't changed because of Toni Storm, bro. Like, let's be real. Like,
they're not.
maybe
But
a couple little creepy
he's
dudes
trying to get
start
horny
watching.
teenage boys to watch wrestling.
Yeah, I mean,
But also,
I'd rather look at Jade
but also
Cargill.
try to
I mean?
show like you know this is not a whole sex thing. You know, we're showing wrestlers and stuff like that. But it's like I know what you're doing.
Yeah, it's just like you said you were trying to be different. Like, and it feels like they are WWE now. It feels like Triple H is, you know, turning the main roster WWE into NXT, which everyone loved, and Tony Khan is turning his company into what WWE used to be, which everybody hated. So it's just like, come on, bro. Like, yeah, you're going to give us some banging wrestling matches, but none of your stories are connecting. You're jumping all over the place with shit. People getting 2-week feuds, unless your name is CM Punk and, you know, the Elite or whoever the top 5-6 people are. It's like motherfuckers only get to show up for 30 seconds to cut a promo. Ricky Starks had a 2-second match last week. Like, his pose was longer than his match. Like, this shit is dumb. You can't tell no stories like that. You can't build superstars like that.
The biggest AEW storyline this year has nothing to do with wrestling.
What's the facts? That's facts. That's facts.
So.
Yeah, I mean, and that's that. There you go. And they've had a lot of great matches, but just nothing is connecting as far as the stories. We don't have the Hangman Page and the Kenny Omega shit going on. That shit kind of just fell by the wayside for a number of reasons. Kenny getting hurt and all that shit. So, we don't have, like, MJF's story is good, but the culmination of it kind of already ended. He signed the contract. That was the whole big deal in suspense. So now that's kind of deflated. I ain't fucking fighting Will or Yuta. It's like, all right. It's like nothing is connecting for me. And yeah, I guess Paige is gonna save the women's division over there. But anyways, let me show you guys the blunt ratings for today. What I came up with for the blunt ratings. Oh, that's not the scene. Where's the scene? There we go. That's the scene for the blunt ratings. Barely a silver blunt. The lowest possible silver blunt you can get. I gave promos and backstage segments 3 blunts. There was really nothing. I can't even, honestly, besides Edge's promo, which was decent, but I've heard it 75 times. It's just like, there wasn't nothing. You know what I mean? I was more interested in the
pretty
white
much
rabbit shit.
weak on the mic.
Yeah, it wasn't really nothing. So the matches, there was the 2 matches between, Otis and Johnny Gargano. That joint was good, but then Chad Gable and Strowman. That might have been Strowman's best match. Like, I don't know. Like, him and Roman Reigns was pretty fucking good, but he showed
Actually,
a lot.
no, my bad.
You know what I mean?
Strowman versus I was about to say Big Show.
Big Show?
When it was a few years ago when they were doing the kip ups and stuff like that, when they were facing each other in the ring, and of course the ring came apart. It was on a Raw.
Oh shit! Damn, I don't even remember that. I gotta look that up.
Yeah, that's Strowman's best
okay.
match.
Okay, all right, bet. So
All
I gave
about
matches
the
2 or
match
3
when he
quarters.
threw that chair at Roman Reigns.
That match is definitely, that was the one I would consider his best match. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That match was great, a lot of fun. So yeah, 2.75 blunts for matches, average night for matches. Storytelling the same. It's like I've already explained. It's like a lot of stories I'm just not feeling right now. It's just a lot of stuff that's just like blah, Miz and Dexter. I don't know what the fuck is going on with a lot of this shit. This feels like they're trying to finish resetting the clock and get to the season premieres to where they can kick whatever new stories off that they're going to be doing. But we need to get to that point because the shit was kind of dry. So 3.25 for storytelling. Commentary was decent. Corey Graves keep pointing out the fact that no one's arresting Dexter Lumis and everyone just keeps letting him in the building and letting these things happen. But at this point, like, Miz should have armed security around him, and I don't.
I mean,
understand
he's
his
had
rage.
security.
No.
He-
Nope. He had his little cousins. That was not secure. I would have kicked their ass. You ain't what? I'll
But this is the
whoop
thing,
every
we've
one of them
seen-
dudes' asses. I don't care how much they wrestle.
We had security with the batons and stuff, and what happened? Dexter Lumis was in it,
Oh,
choked that man out, and brought him through the crowd. The crowd didn't even stop
Is
him.
he trying to check what kind of shampoo he uses? I'm trying to check for dandruff. Let me pet you on the head very softly. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here, man? I don't, it was what it was. The commentary was decent. I gave him 3.5, and the crowd was kind of ass last night. I ain't gonna lie. The crowd was dry for half the show. Like, they didn't react to like a lot of stuff I think they were supposed to react to. But I can't really blame them because the shit was kind of, it's just like stuff was happening, but nothing like big. They can't see the fucking QR code. They're not waiting on, they're not doing, like we all at home, like, what's Bray gonna do? They're watching the show live, so they just getting the boring shit. So it's just, I don't want to say it's the boring shit, but they not getting the extra shit and they're not wrapped up in it like we are. So, because, as the thumbnail says, the best thing that happened on Raw hasn't been revealed yet. You know what I mean? It's literally the best storyline on the show. And it's not even technically on the show yet. So hopefully Raw can make some changes here soon and we can, get it back to where it was when Triple H first took over, which was kind of a cheat because obviously you bringing back people that got fired and people are so excited to see. Everybody's going to be excited. The shows are going to be, have a lot of extra heat on them. So he had the cheat code earlier, but now it ain't really nobody you can bring back at this point that people are gonna be like, oh, whatever. Let's CM Punk show up. That would be nuts. I ain't gonna even lie. That would be fucking crazy. I ain't even lie.
CM Punk the White Rabbit.
Yeah. Oh God. That's not. Oh man. So yeah, it is what it is. The show got a 3.1 overall. Man, hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me switch back to this. Can I switch back to this scene? Where's the scene? Oh, it's too many buttons. There we go. Sorry. Yeah, so appreciate you guys being locked in. KGM Gruss was good. Gruss said MJF is averages. Weak ass moveset. Damn. What you think, Fizz? You fuck with MJF's moveset? You think he average? Think he's average?
He's a great wrestler. He doesn't have crazy moves. It's all about how he puts it together and tells a story.
It's like a story. He's a storyteller in the ring.
Yeah, he's a storyteller. He ain't gonna do anything to make you go wow.
He's not jumping off the top rope.
Move wise, but he'll make you go wow by watching the match.
Right. Yeah, he'll keep you intrigued. It's more like watching a movie when you watching an MJF match. You watching a short film and shit. You just trying to see what kind of shit he gonna talk.
This just in.
What happened?
Due to his hopping around abilities when he wrestles, it seems the White Rabbit might be Shane McMahon.
Okay, I'm done. Let's just listen. I don't ever want to see Shane McMahon in a wrestling capacity ever again. Listen, Shane McMahon is a part of one of my favorite matches of all time. I would probably say this match is in my top 10 of matches that I've ever watched, and that's that match against Kurt Angle. Like, the man got balls. Yeah, I mean, big giant cojones. So I respect him, but please, for the love of God, I do not bring him back near a wrestling ring. I don't need to see him potatoing my wrestlers. I don't need to see him skipping his feet and jumping around like a little fucking asshole.
Bunny
I don't need
hopping.
to see, I don't need to see it. I don't need to see just fucking spinning his arm like he's fucking fighting. Like, I don't need to see it ever again. It's not, I'm facing the Undertaker. Listen, it's too many wrestlers. We're not about to do this. I'm not, no. Just let him be a husband and father and run his businesses somewhere else. You know what I mean? He's like, no more wrestling for Shane McMahon. But that's it for the show, man. Appreciate you guys being locked in. I'll be back at 5:30, and we gonna break down this Bray Wyatt stuff. There's a lot of news in the pro wrestling world, man. We got to talk about some gimmicks being changed, some injuries. We got a lot of stuff to cover, but we'll talk. We'll be logged on between 5:30 and 5:45. Y'all know how it is. And yeah, man, we'll be talking about it. But welcome the homie Physics.
Attention,
Physics
Wow
back.
Nation!
The homie, the doctor of the AKAs is back. King Aka back in the building. You already
Doctor,
know what it
aka
is, man.
Anomics.
Yeah, man, back in the building. It's good to have you back, bro. You gonna be with us on Saturdays and Tuesdays for Raw and SmackDown?
For this Saturday, I won't be because I will be out of town.
Okay.
But I'm definitely gonna be here. We gotta do that Extreme
you
Rules
definitely on
pay-per-view.
Tuesday.
I got some belts to get.
Yeah, I was about to say we got to do predictions this week. I'm pretty sure Travis gonna want to put his title up on the line for that. So we'll probably be doing those on Thursday or Friday if everybody's available. We'll hop on and do predictions. And yeah, man, we'll be doing. I do have plans on Saturday, but I am going to try to be here to do a watch along with you guys for Extreme Rules, man, because it's gonna be a fun ass pay-per-view. I want to see. I'm pretty excited about all the matches. I ain't gonna lie, like even Bailey and Bianca, just because of the stipulations. It's an Extreme Rules pay-per-view. I want to see some crazy shit, so I'm excited to watch the pay-per-view. Hope you guys are too. Yeah, lock in with us a little later and every day this week, man. We live, baby. You already know what it is. Your boy, Mr. HD, with the homie King Aka Physics. See you guys later. Deuces.